Reading the Electronic Expansion Valve Control Board LEDs. In this video, we will look at the LEDs on the TAM7's Electronic Expansion Valve Control Board, or EVC. The goal of this video is to demonstrate how to verify the EVC board is communicating, how to read the EVC status LED in a properly operating system, how to troubleshoot a non-communicating EVC board, and how to read the LED fault codes on the EVC. Verifying communications. Following the initial power-up sequence, the blue unit LED should flash once every 4 seconds. This lets us know that the EVC board is communicating properly with the TAM7's other control boards. Reading the EVC status LED. Following the initial power-up sequence, the status LED will flash once when in cooling mode with no active call. When active cooling calls are present, the status LED will flash twice to indicate a first stage cooling call and 3 times to indicate a second stage cooling call. In heat pump systems, a 4 flash from the EVC status LED indicates heat mode with no active call. 5 flashes indicate an active call for first stage heating, and 6 flashes indicate an active call for second stage heating. Now, it is important to note here that in both cooling and heat pump operations, single stage systems will flash second stage codes. So if you have a single stage system with an active cooling call, the status LED will flash 3 times. And if you have a single stage system with an active heat call, the status LED will flash 6 times. The EVC status LED will also display a flutter pattern when the stepper motor is being pulsed. If the status LED does not match the call from the thermostat, check the field and thermostat wiring, thermostat configuration, and the AFC dip switch settings. Troubleshooting the EVC board. If the blue unit LED displays a fast pulse, a communication fault occurred since the last power-up. To see if the problem persists, cycle power to the unit. If the blue unit LED is now solid, the boards are not communicating. First, verify that a screw or other object has not fallen behind the board, grounding it to the chassis. Next, we want to isolate the EVC board by powering down the TAM7, disconnecting the heater board, and it will be plugged into either J9 or J10 on the distribution board, and then reapply power. If the EVC unit LED now displays a normal pulse pattern of once every 4 seconds, the problem is with the heater circuit. Please refer to the FieldTechHelp.com heater board troubleshooting video to resolve this issue. If the EVC unit LED remains solid, we need to check continuity of the wiring harness from the AFC board through the distribution board to the EVC board. Detach the wiring harness at one end and check continuity of each lead, and repair or replace as necessary. If the unit LED is still solid, the EVC board is defective and must be replaced. LED fault codes. Following the power-up sequence, the red fault LED reports EVC faults. If the fault LED is flashing and the green status LED is solid, the system is reporting fault history. But if the green status LED is not solid and the red LED is flashing, the fault codes being reported indicate a current fault condition. Fault codes are the same for fault history and current faults, and we are going to cover them one by one next. 1 flash fault code. A 1 flash fault code indicates that the stepper motor or wiring harness has an open circuit or intermittent short. Verify the stepper motor and wiring harness. 2 flash fault code. A 2 flash fault code signals that the control has detected an internal failure. To resolve this fault code, power down the TAM7 and disconnect the stepper motor wiring harness from the EVC board at connector J1. Power up the TAM7 and allow the unit to go through the power-up sequence. If the 2 flash fault code is resolved, verify the stepper motor and wiring harness by referring to the unit's service facts document for proper resistance values and repair or replace as necessary. If the 2 flash fault code persists, the EVC board must be replaced. 3 flash fault code. A 3 flash fault code indicates that the evaporator temperature sensor's input is out of range. Refer to the TAM7 sensor check troubleshooting video for diagnostic procedures. 4 flash fault code. A 4 flash fault code indicates that the gas temperature sensor's input is out of range. Again, refer to the TAM7 sensor check troubleshooting video for diagnostic procedures. 5-flash fault code. A 5-flash fault code communicates that the stepper motor coil is shorted. Verify the stepper motor and wiring harness by referring to the unit's service facts document for proper resistance values. 6-flash fault code. A 6-flash fault code indicates that the valve is not responding to a change in position. Verify that the valve is not stuck and that the ET and GT sensors are in range. Perform an open-close test and refer to the sensor check video at www.FieldTechHelp.com for additional diagnostic procedures. 7-flash fault code. A 7-flash fault code signals high superheat. Check the system charge, inspect the liquid line for potential restrictions, and verify that the sensors are attached and within range. For more information on the sensors, refer to the sensor check video at www.FieldTechHelp.com. 10-flash fault code. A 10-flash fault code indicates low superheat. Refer to the Troubleshooting Low Superheat video at www.FieldTechHelp.com for diagnostic procedures. 11-flash fault code. An 11-flash fault code is triggered when the condensate drain switch is activated for 100 seconds. Clean the condensate line and tray area and clean and verify the condensate switch. 13-flash fault code. When indoor frost protection is activated, a 13-flash fault code is generated and cooling is disabled to allow the coil to defrost. Check the system charge, ET sensor placement and calibration, and look for any airflow restrictions. Now note that this fault code is normal for low ambient cooling operating conditions. 14-flash fault code. An internal communication failure will signal a 14-flash fault code and all operations will be terminated. Verify harness continuity between J2 on the EVC and J4 on the distribution board. 15-flash fault code. A 15-flash fault code is triggered when the system detects a configuration fault and all operations will be terminated. Check that the personality module matches the unit model number and is securely seated onto the AFC board. Then cycle power to the unit. 16-flash fault code. A 16-flash fault code is generated when the TAM7 cannot determine the status of the outdoor unit. Operations are terminated until the issue is resolved. Cycle power to the TAM7 and verify wiring to the outdoor unit. Replace the EVC if the fault persists. This video has provided an overview of the EVC fault codes. Please refer to other FieldTechHelp.com videos as well as the TAM7 technical documentation for more information and detailed troubleshooting procedures. This concludes this demonstration of reading the electronic expansion valve control board's LEDs.